Hello friends, today is gonna be a little bit different video in comparison to the others. I would like to show you in this video all the autographs that I have in my collection, the Beatles related autographs that I have in my collection. So the camera will be a little bit shaking because I will be moving. All my autographs are hanging on the walls, so I will be moving a lot, so excuse the shaking. So I'm going to start with this image of the Beatles that I made by myself. These are 4 Hard Day's Night pictures that I took from the calendar 2015. This, the middle one, I took it from the Life magazine, and the other one I took it from the other magazine, which is called Uncut, something like that. And I just combined it and made the poster, and you know, this is one of my favorite posters that I have. So now start with the autographs. This is the first autograph that I want to show is on the CD by Stickman. Now this is autographed by Tony Levin, who is the member of Stickman, and he's also playing with King Crimson, and he's a multi-instrumentalist, and he's a very great musician. Now why I mention him is, some of you may not know, but he's playing bass on John Lennon's Double Fantasy and also Milk and Honey. He's the bass player on this album. And since he was one of the members of John Lennon team, not for long, still I do have his autograph. The next autograph that I want to talk about is by Klaus Voormann. I met Klaus Voormann on the 1st of December 2011 in Köln in Lanxess Arena and Paul McCartney show during the On the Run tour. And I was lucky enough, Klaus Voormann sat right beside me in the audience, and a lot of people approached him with the autograph, and he refused the first two because he didn't want to, you know, he didn't want to be bothered. But then a lot of people came to him, and so he could no longer refuse. He could no longer refuse, and he signed. And I was sitting right beside him, and he looked at me, and he noticed that I also wanted to ask him, and he nodded me with his head like that, and he said, "Okay, come on, I'll sign." And the moment that I was giving him my ticket to sign, the light was off and Paul McCartney came on the stage, so it was impossible. So during the show I saw him leaving. He didn't want to wait until the end of the show, so I followed him to the corridor. As you can see, me and Klaus Voormann standing in the corridor. I ran after him, I approached him, and he signed me on the ticket, and he agreed to have 2 pictures with me, and this is the best picture of the 2. So this is my first autograph by Klaus Voormann. A second one is this one, a single called Blue Lalelu that he released in 2015 as a support of the people coming to Europe. He released only 1,000 pieces of it, and the first 250 were signed. So all the people who bought this single, the money went to charity. So I kind of gave money to charity, and Klaus Voormann sent me, or the bookstore sent me this copy signed by Klaus Voormann himself. So the next autograph that I want to talk about is by Ringo on black and white picture. He signed it in 2005, and the picture was taken, I believe it was 1962 in Liverpool, standing on the square. And this picture I took it from some magazine, just put it here because I like the picture, from Let It Be sessions. That was 3 years before that Ringo Starr decided to stop signing, and since I cannot he will no longer sign to fans, so I had to buy this one. And it was really good price from the auction, and really happy to have it. And here comes the most expensive item in my collection, something that I got personally. This is new album by Paul McCartney, which is called New, a deluxe version signed personally by Paul McCartney and addressed to me and to my brother. This happened on 19th of October in 2013 in London, 363 Oxford Street in London, an HMV store. He wrote in Twitter that he's going to be making the signing, so I took my place in the queue and I was waiting more than 20 hours to get to Paul McCartney, and then he came and I was very happy to approach him, and he asked me how to spell Costa. It's my brother's name, C. My name is Jack. And then he said, thank you very much for buying this CD. This is the receipt of the CD, and this is the wristband that was in my hand. Otherwise I wouldn't be allowed to approach him. And you know, then he thanked me again, and this is the picture from that event. And for those of you who have this deluxe version of New, on the CD number 3, here is the Covent Garden HMV Oxford Street. And if you look closer to the end, by the end of the video, last 15 seconds of that video, you can see me standing right behind the car with the camera in a white sweater with a revolver picture on my chest and making pictures. And you can clearly see me also in a hall. So I was lucky enough to get the autograph and also to be on one of Paul McCartney's official released products. So I am officially the Paul McCartney fan and Beatles fan, and this is the proof. In my previous video I was talking about Beatles related autographs, and here I want to talk about non-Beatles related autographs and celebrity meetings. So as you can see from the first image, I want to start with the album by King Crimson, which is called The Radical Action to Unset the Hold of a Monkey Mind. I saw King Crimson in 2015 in September and I was lucky enough to get this drum cover signed by 3 drummers of King Crimson. And here is in the booklet, here is the picture of the entire band and 3 drummers in the front, and behind them there is Tanya Levine, which I mentioned in my previous video. So this is the original drum cover from King Crimson, and it's been signed by 3 drummers who are Pat Masselotto, Bill Rieflin and Gavin Harrison. So from King Crimson Band I have 4 autographs. Tanya Levine is signed on the CD that I showed you in my previous video, and the original drum kit. I also have the tour program book somewhere, but I can't find it right now. So this is the original autographs and original drum kit, drum cover, and signed by 3 members of King Crimson. The other thing that I want to talk about is some band who's called the Rolling Stones, and here they are. This is the Black and Blue album signed by Charlie Watts, Chuck Leavell, Mick Taylor, Bernard Fowler and Lisa Fischer. 5 autographs by the members of the Rolling Stones touring band and the core members, of course. And I already have 2 Rollings signed here. It's Mick Taylor and Charlie Watts. I also was very lucky to see Mick Jagger in person, but I wasn't allowed by the security to approach him to ask him for an autograph. It was in October 2017 in Düsseldorf. But I saw Mick Jagger in person, and for about half an hour he was sitting right there, eating and drinking, and I wanted to approach him, but I really regret that I didn't do it. And Charlie Watts I met in Paris, near the hotel 4 Seasons, on 22nd of October, when he was heading to his second Paris show. And the other members of the band are, this is me and Chuck Leavell in Düsseldorf. This is me, my wife, and Bernhard Faller, also in Düsseldorf. This is me and Lisa Fischer, also in Düsseldorf. And Mick Taylor refused to have a picture with us. So, glad to have 5 autographs from the Rolling Stones team. Also, when I was waiting for another celebrity, you may have heard of him, Paul McCartney, coming out from the hotel, I met another celebrity. This is Bryan Adams. And he agreed to have a picture with me, so I have a picture with Bryan Adams. Unfortunately, I didn't take an autograph, but the picture. And another celebrity picture, he's not a musician, he's an actor. And once I was in the acting agency, and I was lucky enough to participate in a movie, and this is Gérard Depardieu, the French actor. He was making a movie, and I was one of the actors in the crowd. So he agreed to have a picture with me, and this is another celebrity picture. And another picture that I want to show is the picture that I made in Frankfurt on Ringo Starr show. While he was performing, I was desperate to have a picture with him, so I stood off my chair, stood in the middle, and asked somebody to have a picture. So we made something like 5 or 6 pictures, and this one was the only picture that that you could see Ringo's face. Well, before the concert, he went into the venue and he didn't want to sign any autographs or make a pictures, anything. So that was the only available thing that he could do. I have a picture with Ringo Starr, and I have a Ringo Starr autograph. This is the rest of my celebrity pictures and autographs. Glad to have Charlie Watts and Mick Taylor autograph. I could have taken Mick Jagger autograph, but I really regret that I didn't do it, but the security officer just pushed me away. And 3 autographs by members of King Crimson. So that's it. That's all the autographs that I have. Thank you very much for watching.